There we are. Splendid. Well, good evening, my beautifully wiped little bottoms. How the devil are you? And a very warm welcome to Wednesday Night Live with me, Boaty, who will be spending the next 58 minutes coming into your eyes and your ears direct from here, Windy Bottom, in the phenomenally hot Peak District National Park. Now, when I woke up this morning, it was all misty and it looked as if like autumn was here. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that warm spell didn't last very long, did it? But then by kind of 11s, my gosh, it's been a warm one, hasn't it? Hasn't it been warm? Isn't it warm? Isn't it hot though? Hasn't it been warm? It's too hot, isn't it? It's too hot. Oh, you've gone blurry. Why have you gone blurry? Do you need a wipe? Do you need a wipe, my lovelies? Do you need a wipe, don't you worry? Don't you worry, I'll come and give you a wipe, kid. Who are? Right, brace yourselves, darlings. You're going to be wiped. Here we go. Look at you. I'm like your mum, aren't I? Licking the handkerchief and then wiping your cheek. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? I wonder. I don't have any particular preconceived notions. I'm happy for you to sit on my lap and we'll talk about the first thing that comes up. Your very good health, darlings. Chin chin and all that. Oh, I'm looking forward to this, actually. Gosh, it's been warm. Oh, that really is ever so nice. Now then, who have I got? Let's have a look. Barry, aka that guy from SETI Alpha 5, is here. And good evening to you, Barry. I hope you are. Joe is here, the lovely Joe Cox from Cars with JC, who has a video out now, an actual proper video, not just a short. So, Jimmy Quinn, bless you. That's exceedingly kind of you, Jimmy. Thank you very much indeed. Straight in there with a super sticker. Super sticker. Thank you very much appreciated. And Joe says, evening, Jason. Good evening to you, Joe. Hope everyone is okay and had a splendid day. Yes, indeed. I mean, well, I can't speak for everybody else, but my day has indeed been reasonably splendid. Neil Gibbons is here, the Gibbonator. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is well and in good spirits. Hot, says Joe. Hot. Black Lines is here. Good evening, all. Jimmy Quinn, the lovely Jimmy Quinn. Good evening, Boaty. Good evening, Jimmy. Good evening, all, says Bad Books. Sorry, last night. It was my tinternet that went cock. Don't know what that's in reference to. I need to be wiped, says Black Lines. It's hot in terrible places tonight. Oh, God, I know all about that. I mean, I had not a cold shower, but a tepid shower before I went to work. And before you knew it, I mean, that journey to work in a streetwise with no air conditioning, my crevice got exceptionally hot and sweaty. And now I don't know if ladies suffer from this or not, but in my experience, when you get a hot and sweaty crevice, then the gusset of your Y-fronts gets all sort of rumpled and crumpled, and your scrotum is a man's scrotum, particularly a more mature man's scrotum, because this is going to come as a real shock to some of you younger ones. You're going blurry again. Stop that. When you become just a little bit older, some strange things will happen to your body. And one of those strange things is that your scrotum will become increasingly pendulous. So I'm told. I'm too young. Hasn't happened to me yet. And the pendulous scrotum is no friend of the scrumpled gusset. I can assure you of that. And you'll get a bit of loose scrotum tangled up in a bit of scrumpled gusset, and it will be most uncomfortable. And if you're sitting doing 73 miles an hour on the M1, other motorways are available, you're going to struggle to unscrumple that gusset and to straighten out that scrotum without, quite frankly, causing yourself to be a danger on the road. The sort of danger that is all too common in China, where special cameras have had to be placed because there were too many road traffic accidents being caused by drivers masturbating, either themselves or their passengers, or vice versa, being masturbated by their passengers. So, yeah, there are cameras around now to stop all of that sort of thing. And frankly, I hope that it will only be a matter of time before we have cameras on all of our road network, which are specially designed to catch out people driving erratically because of a bit of scrotum being caught up in a scrumpled gusset. Now, I don't know if any of us are really ready to meet our maker. And, you know, hopefully we don't think about that sort of thing too much. But when I do go, I don't want to go as the result of a middle-aged man trying to unscrumple his scrotum. Thank you very much. So I think the moral of this cautionary tale is beeping at me. The moral of this cautionary tale is, well, I'm not sure actually. Somebody should develop some refrigerated underpants or something, air-conditioned underpants. I mean, I suppose you could. Well, no, you couldn't. I was going to say you could pop some ice down there, but that wouldn't help, would it? Because the ice would just melt, and melted ice, as I understand it, and I'm no scientist, becomes water, and that water would then become heated by your crevice, and that's just going to make your whole crevice gusset area even more scrumpled because it's going to be wet and warm. And, you know, that's not going to do anybody any good. There should be a solution. In this technical day and age, as far as I'm concerned, there should be I mean, I suppose maybe the solution has been there all along. And maybe it's the Scotsmen who have the solution. Maybe the solution is a kilt and no underwear. And that beeping is doing my head in. I'm going to go and sort it out. Right, I can confirm that the beeping was caused by my bag of shopping, which, as I got in from work a little bit late, because the big boss, Bishnu Dai, Big Bish, he came to the restaurant today, and he wanted to have a sit-down meeting with me to get my advice on certain matters, and that went on a little bit longer. So I just came in tonight a little bit late, and I flung my shopping in the direction of the hob chap over there. And now I had coleslaw in the shopping bag, which I have taken out and I've correctly placed in a temperature-controlled environment, which you might know as a fridge. But the rest of it, I just left it there. And it was poking the electronic button of my hob. And that was what was causing the beep. But we've got to the bottom of that now, haven't we? So, you know, it's all good and we can carry on as best we can. Obviously, I want to know what you've been eating today. And for the record, I had diced Karen pastry with chips and well, I had what I told you I was going to have. I had the pie and chips, and I had it with a very boozy, fiery peppercorn sauce. But what I didn't have, I told you I was going to make a tomato and onion concasse, and I didn't. I had a change of heart, and I just made. Well, I don't think there's a name for it. Basically, I sweated off some julienne of onion, finely sliced onion, and I used that as a base for my peppercorn sauce. So I had a sort of onion peppercorn saucy type arrangement. It was exceptionally nice. It really was. I enjoyed it very much. So there we are. Duck butter, Boaty. Not sure what that's in reference to. Trisha Alderman is here. Good evening to you. It's lovely of you to join us. Too much info, says Joe. Can't think what he could possibly be talking about there. I don't think I've overshared anything tonight, have I? I'm not reading that out, Barry, and you should be you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. Have you really? I haven't. I haven't done that, Barry. I've driven along many, many, many times whilst somebody was doing something nice to me, but not the full 9 yards like that. I mean, gosh, she must have been a small lady for you to see past her. God, no wonder there's so many crashes on the road with you. Stream name. Oh, yes, it is, of course, your bounden duty to name tonight's live stream, as it always is. And we've got an early one. Bad Books has come up with stream name. Boaty literally talks bollocks. I quite like that. Let's screenshot that. Did anyone, asks Neil, watch Mustard live this afternoon? I did, and it was very eventful. Shall we talk about Mustard's live this afternoon? Shall we, Neil? Shall we, Jimmy? Jimmy watched it. I know for a fact that Joe watched it. So shall we talk about that a little? Might be fun. Rover Joe is here. Rover Joe is here. Let's all give him a manly hug because Rover Joe is here. Feel the love in the room for Rover Joe. Good evening, Joe. Hope you're most awfully well. Bad Book says, a car once crashed into the back of my car. Driver got out on his hands and knees, severely bruised bollocks due to leather seats and boxer shorts offering no support whilst wearing overalls. Oh, did. I'm glad about that, Barry. I'm glad that she was very good. And yes, Neil mentions that Skick also watched Mustard's live stream this afternoon, as did I. I was there. I watched it. I saw Neil gift some channel memberships very kindly. I even gifted a couple myself, and I received a channel membership as a gift from GPS OMG. So yeah, I thought Joe might have an opinion on this. Paul's live was fantastic. Loved every second with a box of popcorn. Right, well, there's kind of an elephant in the room here, isn't there? And I feel that I should explain it for those people who are at work or who, for whatever reason, did not watch Mustard live this afternoon. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was uncalled for. Let me explain what went on. Okay, now, during Mustard's live, there was a bit of an altercation in the comments section. And I don't know whether I should let you into the secret or not. Do I let you into the secret or not? I'm not sure. I might mull that over for a couple of minutes, see what else you guys have got to say. Bad Book says, I didn't see Mustard live. Did he buy a motorbike? No, he didn't. He stood outside the door of the lavatory of last resort in the Yard of Dreams and peered myopically at his phone screen because he never wears his glasses when he should. Michael Burrows is amongst us and says, hi, how are you? I'm great, Michael. It's really kind of you to ask. And I hope that you're jolly well too. Cheers. Thank you for joining us. Neil says, I do it. It's on the internet. You do what, Neil? What would you do? What would you do? Tell me, dear boy. Joe says, I've been doing some welding today on the boot floor of the Honda Civic. Oh, spitting everywhere. Need to finish it off tomorrow. So far, so good. Splendid. Well done, Joe. I still can't decide whether to let you in on the secret or not. Whether it's too early to reveal it. I really want to reveal it in a massive social media splash that will undoubtedly go viral. But maybe I can tell you, you guys are my inner scrotum after all. You know what? I'm going to top my wine up, and I think I'm going to tell you. Neil says, it's in the comments on his live. We can all see him. To be honest, it was bound to happen sooner or later. Yeah, well, I know all of that. Neil, but obviously I'm talking about the secret of what's behind it. And that's what I'm not sure whether to let you in on or not, because I know that you don't know it. I think I'm going to tell you. Okay. Let's just put it out there whilst I'm amongst friends. There's a fiver in it for you. Just tell us. All right, Neil, I will. Right. Now, obviously, in recent years, celebrity boxing has become a kind of a thing. It's being called various things. It's being called crossover. And obviously part of that is that some well-known YouTubers, members of the YouTube community, have got into a boxing ring and beat seven bells out of each other. And, you know, this sort of thing is becoming more and more common. There's a very well publicized bout allegedly coming up between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, I believe. Well, I can exclusively reveal to you that we are not going to be left out of this madness or this excitement, depending on how you view it. And Boaty Enterprises, Inc. is proud to announce that I will be promoting, hopefully, the first Boaty's World Community kick the bejesus out of each other in a boxing ring event. And what happened in Mustard's Live tonight was a preliminary to that. In order to work up a bit of anticipation for the event, then the two protagonists, they got in each other's faces a bit. There was quite a bit of trash talking. There was offering out going on. There was pride. There was manliness. There was chest puffery. And it was all absolutely most splendid. And yeah, I am going to try and turn this into a £1 million pay-per-view event where our chap is going to get into a ring with their chap and jolly well see what happens under the Marquis of Queensberry rules. And I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about it indeed. And it may lead on to other similar events for all that we know. So I would be very interested if any of you have got any ideas for some excellent YouTube community grudge matches that we could promote and raise some much needed money for me for a really good cause. Me for We've got a live one, Kenneth. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was. I feel a bit sorry for Mustard that he was put in that position when that was kicking off on his live stream. It's difficult to know how to deal with that. But it's all. I'm not reading that out, Neil. Oh, God above. Oh, you're trying to get me into trouble here, mate. I know you would. Neil, believe me, I know you would. Right, that's not a fair matchup. That's not... Neil, I've met you. I've hugged you. I have felt your muscularity. If you're getting in a ring, I'm not... That's going to be a bit bloody one-sided, isn't it? Oh, dear. I wish I could read that comment out, but I daren't. I absolutely daren't. I tell you what, it would be a brave man who took on Neil in our new pro celebrity amateur white collar YouTube crossover community boxing event. Neil, can you box? Can you? I know you're a big, strong unit of a guy, but can you actually box? Have you ever boxed in your life? If you've never boxed, I might get in and do a round with you on the basis that I might be able to keep you off me with my jab for about 3 minutes. Oh dear. Oh, hang on, I take that back. Neil says, I do still train with my mate who's a 6'5" powerlifter. Yeah, sod that. No. I don't think we've got a match for you, Neil. I don't think you're going to be able to take part in this. Yeah, I'm sure you are, mate. I'm sure you're very handy. I did get that impression. And for that reason, I can't think of anybody in our community that it would be appropriate to put you in a ring with, mate. I tell you what, I will give you a very important job, Neil. You can be head of security, right? So when the two protagonists face off, you can be the huge slab of a hefty guy who gets in the middle of them and keeps them apart or restrains them or something. You'd be good at that. Barry says, "Is it Mr. Lloyd versus a diesel lover?" Which that's funny. It wasn't Barry, but I'd love to see that. I would actually love to see that. Oh dear. I was chatting with Mr. Lloyd yesterday and today. We were he's coming up here to a car show in a couple of weeks' time, and asked if I would like to go down and meet him. And so I said, yeah, absolutely, I would love to. So we're going to do that. And then next month he's up here on more personal business, and we're gonna get together and do some stuff in October as well. So that'll be fun. I'm genuinely rather fond of Mr. Lloyd. He's a splendid chap, and I really do like him. And I'm looking forward to doing some stuff together with him. Oh dear, Simone's here. Good evening, Simone. Joe says, Joe says, I think Mr. Lloyd would definitely have a secret inner super strength. I love this idea. I love this idea of community members getting into a boxing ring with each other, all in good sportsmanship and fun, of course, to raise a few money, to just raise a few quid for me, for good causes. I mean, on that subject, Mustard and I had an arm wrestling championship on Monday, so even we're starting to get a bit physical and manly about it. I put a teaser for it in one of the daily diaries. Well, it would have been Monday's daily diary, wouldn't it? The power of Sir, says Joe. Yeah, I agree. I think God, he'd make it'd be like ITV wrestling in the 1980s, wouldn't it? I mean, Mr. Lloyd would be he would be one of the good guys. He would be like Big Daddy, wouldn't he? That everybody loved and all the grandmothers went to see. And then he'd be put in with one of the, what did they call them? There was a specific term, heels. In the wrestling community, they were called heels, the bad guys. So yeah, Mr. Lloyd would be like Big Daddy going in, and everybody would cheer for him. They'd be waving banners, and the ladies would drop their knitting and whatnot. And he would go in with like a giant haystacks equivalent that everybody would boo, boo, and the thing is, I want this to happen now. I genuinely want this to happen, and I'm genuinely willing to promote it. White collar boxing is a thing now, and if any of you guys have ever boxing trained, you will know that it's the best exercise going. My God, I'm so sorry. Oh, Neil, bless you. Neil's bunged me a five as soon as I told you. That's really kind of you. Bad Book says... We're going to have to write this live stream off. I'm not going to get through this. Bad Book says, is Skick a bare-knuckle boxer? And Neil goes on to say, I reckon Skick is Ronnie Pickering. Oh, God, wouldn't that be brilliant? Wouldn't that be absolutely brilliant? I mean, actually, I've chatted with Skick via email, and I know his real name, and I can confirm that he's not actually Ronnie Pickering, but I love that idea. Maybe that could be his boxing name. I'm Ronnie Pickering. Say my name. Say my name. If you don't say my name now, you'll say it in the ring when I'm beating the bejesus out of you. Oh, the trash talking was brilliant today. I really enjoyed it. I mean, and it was, it's there, as Neil said, it's there in the comments to be seen, unless Mustard has deleted it. Simon didn't shout at Mustard for not moderating it. It was nowhere near as bad in my live stream, and Simon shouted at me for not moderating. I don't know, one rule for one and one for another. But yeah, they properly went at it. One protagonist said to the other, I just wish I could come across you in real life. I'm not hard to find, said the other. I thought, God, this is brilliant. I'm really enjoying this. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And there's poor old Mustard, 17,000 comments behind, desperately trying to see what the hell's going on his phone screen. And no doubt mentally wondering, okay, how on God's earth do I deal with this? Oh, dear, dear, dear. Simone says, Boaty, did you see my film? And I'm ashamed to say, Simone, I haven't yet, but I will look it out almost immediately after this live stream. Blackline says, I miss out on all the drama every time. I need to start some of my own. Well, Blacklines, I mean, call somebody out. Challenge somebody. Call them a cake sucker. Call them a muddy funster and tell them to kiss your knee and challenge them to a bout in challenge them to a bout in the square ring. Oh, I didn't mean that sound sexual, by the way. I'm sorry about going off on a one on this one. It's just that for anybody who was there for Mustard's live, it was quite memorable. I mean, in all seriousness, now I've run a huge social media network for, well, since 2016, so that's what, 7-8 years. And I ran a smaller one before that. And when you put disparate people together into the same space, especially when it's virtual, and people, you've heard the term keyboard warriors. Well, it is a thing. People are much more, or can be, much more confrontational when it's over the internet rather than in person in the pub sort of thing. And again, in all seriousness, it can be bullying, it can be trolling, and it can be very unpleasant, awkward to witness, and potentially it can even be dangerous. I have been in those situations where things have got out of hand, and well, we don't need to go into that, but yeah, I have been in that situation before, both personally and on behalf of other people. I had one guy was the ultimate keyboard warrior, and this was in the singles forum, and then he contacted me privately, and the things that he was going to do to me, and he was going to hunt me down, and he knew where I lived, and he was going to do this, that, and the other, and genuinely trying to scare the pants off me, really trying to intimidate me, and I found out where he worked, and I went there the next day, and I went to have a chat with him. Wasn't quite so brave in person, but anyway, sometimes it is just a bit of handbags at dawn, and that can be slightly amusing. And it was more that sort of thing today, I think, which is why we're having a little laugh about it, rather than sort of, oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, we're talking about mature, sensible grown-ups, and I'm sure it's just a little bit of an online spat. And, other than the pay-per-view boxing match, it's not going to develop into anything worse. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. We wouldn't allow it, but it was slightly amusing. Oh, dear. Where are we? Perhaps it's the heat making everyone angry. Oh, and Skick is here. You are a nice person, Skick. I will vouch for that. You are indeed a nice person, and I'm glad you're here, mate. Actually, I think a few people might want to give you a pat on the back. Oh, and I can see that it's going to happen. There we are. Blackline says, Big Daddy versus Giant Haystacks at the Yard of Dreams. They did have a bout in the end, didn't they? I can't remember who won, but except it would obviously have been Big Daddy, wouldn't it? God, ITV wrestling. That's what we should do. So come on, who would you like to see in some fantasy white collar YouTube community boxing events? We won't go mad. Let's just say, right, this is how it will go. I would actually do this, by the way. I would genuinely arrange this. We will say 3 2-minute rounds, or maybe 90-second rounds, because believe me, if you've ever boxed, 2 minutes can go on an awfully long time. 3 short rounds, we'll say that. And we will say head guards, and obviously really, really light gloves. I'd be up for that. I would do that. I would absolutely do that. Not with you, Neil. I'm not doing it with you, you great Hulk of a man. But I would take on Who would I take on? Who would I take on? I'll have to have a think about that. Joe says Skip definitely drives a Citroen Picasso. Oh, Joe's getting into it. I wonder what Mr. Lloyd's wrestling name would be. It has to have beige included. The beige leather warrior. I don't know. We should do this. I mean, we probably shouldn't do it in reality, but we should pretend to do it, or at least think about doing it, or fake plan doing it. See who would actually be up for it. Who's going to email Hubner and say, "Hello, Ian. Boaty's organising." Would you mind awfully just putting a pair of gloves on and getting into the ring for 6 minutes? Oh, God. Oh, I'll tell you what we could do with Hubner. Now, I'll hold my hands up. I still watch Hubnut videos occasionally, now and then, when the mood takes me. It was Hubnut along with Mustard who got me into watching YouTube in the first place. And the other night I watched, and I say watched, they were the last ones of the night, the ones that I fall asleep to. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It was just something familiar that was on in the background while I ate my supper, wobbled upstairs and fell asleep. And I was watching the videos on the Camry. Do you remember that Camry estate that he bought? Very ill-advisedly. Bought it for $2,000. It was fucked. Sold it for $1,000, which I think was a very good result. He did well only to lose $1,000 on that. Oh, sorry, excuse me. But if we could find the dealer that sold him that, I bet you anything you like, Ian wouldn't mind getting into a boxing ring with him for a couple of minutes. Twin rear wipers. And can I just say that violence is not big and it's not clever. Disclaimer, hashtag. Oh dear. Oh God, I can't read that out, Black Lines. What's the matter with you? No, just no. No. He's a friend of mine now. I'm definitely not. I disapprove of that comment. I'm laughing at it, but I disapprove of it. The beige bomber. Yes, Joe. Yes. Right. That is. Let's come up with names. Let's come up with wrestling names, fighting names for all of the YouTubers. And I like that. The beige bomber. That's in a couple of weeks' time, when we meet up at that car show, I'm going to introduce him as, ladies and gentlemen, the beige bomber. Oh God, this is too funny. Barry says, not boxing, but I've done sparring many times at Kung Fu. Well, we've spoken about that before, haven't we, Barry? Neil says he kept it composed. Well, I'd have been laughing, yeah. Oh, Simona's got some shed news. This is good. I can now work in my shed, says Simone. I took a big pile of junk to the dump. Very pleased. Good on you. There is nothing quite as cathartic as a really good decluttering of your personal space. I'm a big believer in that. Now, I don't know what feng shui literally means, or even figuratively means, or is supposed to mean. But I very much believe that if your surroundings are jumbled, untidy, disorganized, then it does affect your state of mind. It certainly affects mine. And it's one of those, we're getting back into mental health again, aren't we? It's one of those things that it's like an ever, what do you call it? Not an ever decreasing circle. That was a really lovely, I loved Ever Decreasing Circles. Did anybody else watch that with Martin and Paul and the lovely Penelope Wilton? And Paul, of course, drove an MG BGT, a rubber bumpered one in that burnt orange that was so popular in the late 1970s and early 1980s. I thought that was a brilliant series, Ever Decreasing Circles. And I've always been very honest with myself, and I always wanted to be Paul, you know, the suave, elegant, dashing one. But in my heart of hearts, I knew that I was never Paul. I knew that I was Martin. I was the one trying to be the centre of attention, organising all of the community events, sitting in that bedroom that he turned into an office, turning the handle of the printing machine, printing out the leaflets that, and of course, there were also the wonderful Howard and Hilda. Who remembers Howard and Hilda sitting there in their matching jumpers? And the really funny thing was that Howard, who in that series was a total geek, in Minder, in one episode of Minder, Howard, whatever the actor's name is, was a total bastard. And Teddy had to beat him up in an Indian restaurant. And he had a great big violent moustache. And God, there's a generation of you watching this. Fetuses like the Joes or the Jadens, you won't know what Minder is, will you? You won't know the joy of Minder or Ever Decreasing Circles. And I feel your pain. I used to wind Boo up with Howard and Hilda. And I used to tell her that that was what I wanted. And I wanted us to wear matching sweaters at Christmas. And she used to get so angry, stroke, terrified. I mean, I was never serious. Oh, dear. Oi, do you know who my dad is? Those candles have melted quickly, says Joe. Not that quickly, Joe. They've been on every night, and they will be 2 weeks old on Friday. So they've not done badly. They're going to do 2 weeks, and they were £1.25 each. Now, admittedly, I've pushed the boat out having two. But I think if I'd only had one and had it in the middle there, then £1.25 for 2 weeks of nighttime ambience wouldn't be too bad, would it? Or would you like a Bernard update? I do have a Bernard update for you, if anybody's interested. If you're not, I won't bother. I'm enjoying this. It's not going to be my most successful live stream. It's a bit niche, but I am enjoying it. Ronnie Pickering by any chance? Who? Ronnie Pickering! Is there anybody who hasn't seen that Ronnie Pickering clip in the Sitter and Picasso? Right, if you don't know what we're talking about, just go onto YouTube or whatever and search for Ronnie Pickering and watch and enjoy. Who's this bloke obsessed with socks, says Jack? Sorry, I'm so sorry, Michael. With all of the other madness, I've been ignoring you. It's the lovely Michael, Joe. He's one of us now. He's a member of our community, and he's quite interested in my socks and seeing my naked feet. And I have to say, Michael has splendid taste, because I have rather lovely feet, if I do say so myself. match my feet up with anybody's. Seriously, they're really nice, graceful, high arch. I've got a very narrow ankle and well-defined footage. Jesus, what am I talking about? I've got nice feet and I have got a narrow ankle. Oh, right, Michael. I feel bad now. Okay. Oh, I can't believe I'm going to do this. But Michael, are you still watching? I hope you are. I cannot believe that I'm doing this. God above. It was always going to happen. I was always going to cave in. Okay, here we go. Oh, God. Oh, and for those of you who aren't particularly interested in my socks or naked feet, I can only apologise for what is about to happen. And if anybody wants to come up with the title for this live stream, please do. Now, what is it I've got to do? I think it's for your course. I know, Michael. Yeah. Let me just, and you want me to take one sock off slowly and let you see. Right, here we are then. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, this is uncomfortable. Okay, right. Well, this is my leg. That is my ankle. I've got scars all over my legs from my racing days. I apologise for that. That is my lovely foot in my lovely sport sock. Here we go then. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Dum, 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 dum. Da, 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 da. Right, that's enough of that. I can't believe I've just done that. Oh, God above. Oh. Right, well, jolly good. That's that. Oh, God. What has my life come to? One minute we're talking, 1 minute we've got the lovely Mr. Lloyd rebranded as the Beige Bomber about to jump into the wrestling ring. The next moment I'm taking my sock off. Oh, God above. Oh. Oh, dear. Right, let's try and get back to some semblance of normality, and then in 11 minutes we can all go to bed and pretend that this never happened, and let's never speak of this live stream again. Okay? Deal. I've still got one shoe off. How has this happened? Oh, fuck, I hope Bernard's not watching. God. Although Bernard has seen my naked foot before, so that won't come as a surprise to her. What might come as a surprise to her is the fact that I show it to a random chap over the internet. Let's catch up on these comments, shall we? Before, oh, God. I'm going to feel so dirty and ashamed in the morning, aren't I? Hey, all, says Ross, Dinosaur Dad. Hubbing Up versus a Citroen GSA. Boaty versus a Gibbinator. Sod that, Neil. No. Just no. You're in your prime. I'm an old man. It'd be like Larry Holmes beating up Muhammad Ali. I'm not having that. I mean, I'm up for a hug, but I'm not letting you beat 7 bells out of me in the ring. And I don't mean the ring in a sexual way there, just to be clear. I'm putting my shoe back on. Oh, God. I'm trying to cling on to some level of dignity here. Oh, Christ above. Right. One bomb boating. Oh, now then, Ross. Surely we've got to see Norman Butler and Ernest in the ring. Those two have a tainted history with one another. Now you've hit on something there, Ross. I would pay to see that. I would right. That is the one that we should campaign for that to happen. We should totally campaign for that to happen on 2 grounds. 1, it will be really, really funny. 2, neither of us will get hurt by the Kibinator, who, let's be honest, would tear any of us to pieces. Oh, God, we're coming up with names. Right, Ben's coming up with names. Ben is a genius. Ben is just a genius. He's coming up with fighting names for YouTubers. Hubknuckles. The Pouncing Paddington. What else we got? Twin Cam Man. Furious Force. Oh, and Skick says, with a reference to this afternoon, I intend to apologise to Mustard, but overall I was not in the wrong. And I think other people would agree with you there. Hooked on hammering. And Neil says, Skick, mate, you did the right thing, but fair play to you for apologising. I second that, actually. I second that. You know? Slings and arrows, isn't it? I'm sure deep down Paul was probably laughing. Oh, God. Right. I'll let you into another secret, but you can't say anything, right? Mustard didn't read the comments. He made a conscious decision that not only was he not going to read them out, he wasn't going to read them to himself. Okay? But I read one comment that because Paul rang me immediately after the live stream. And there was one comment that I read to him and he pissed himself. Oh, dear. Pistons pile driver. Question from Simone. Boaty, do you keep the candle glasses after they are done? They come in very handy. Honest answer to that, Simone, I never have. I've never thought of a use for them. But maybe I should. What could I use them for? Give me a clue, because I hate throwing things away. Oh, a title from Simone, Foot Fetish and Fighting. Oh, God, Mustard's here. Hello, chickens. Oh, please tell me Mustard came after I did the sock thing. Oh, if he witnessed that, I'll never live it down. God above. God. Black Line says, stop. I can only become so erect. Oh, God, I can't cope with this. I can't cope with this. I need to finish this live stream as soon as possible and go and have a lie down in a darkened room. It's finally happened, says Joe. Yeah. And Neil says it's a bad time to join Paul. Ben says, can we have the bass screaming? The bass scream instead, please. And Mustard says it looks like I've missed something very exciting. Feet porn, says Joe. Short socks, oh yeah. The live stream needs to be named Foot Reveal, says Joe. Live stream named The Beige Bomber versus Boaty's Feet. And Joe says, I can't stop laughing over the Beige Bomber. The Beige Bomber. I love that. I love that. For all of us now, Mr. Joseph Lloyd, the lovely chap that is now my friend of Lloyd Vehicle Consulting, is always going to be known as the Beige Bomber. Oh God, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh God, and then Jimmy Quinn. Fucking hell, what's next? God. Oh God. Skick says, hi Mustard, really enjoyed your live stream, I will email you. Ben says, and it was in that surreal but intense moment that Bernard realised the future was Boaty shaped. Oh God. Oh, please God, Bernard's not watching this. She won't be. I know she won't be. Yeah, a bit of a Bernard update, darlings. Bernard has watched 2 live streams and commented in them and thinks that they are rather good. In a possibly unconnected event, Bernard is once again single, and in a, again, possibly unconnected event, we are planning a series of films where she and I go and try out a luxury hotel on a Monday night and make a film about it. But, you know, it's Bernard. It's never going to happen. It just works. That's how things go. That's how things go. We've chosen the first hotel that we're going to do, her choice. I've given her my card details and I've said, any Monday's fine, just go ahead, choose the suite, book it, we'll do it. It won't happen, but I'll keep you updated. Oh God. Norman Butler versus Ernest would literally be them playing top trumps in the ring, says Backlines. That would actually be really funny if we did the whole thing, you know, all of the wind up, the trash talking, the social media, then the press conference and the face off, and then we finally get to the night itself, and there's magnificent walk-ons and everything, and Norman Butler and Ernest get in the ring, get their top trumps out. God, I'm dying. Oh God, I'm dying. Oh, dear. Oh God. Oh, is it time to go yet? Can I go? Oh, not quite. I can't cope with any more of this. I'm in pain. Norman Butler in top trunks in the boxing ring with their headgear on their shoulders. Oh dear. Oh God. Do you know what? I've put a lot of hard work into YouTube, and it was totally worth it just for tonight. This will go down in history as my favorite live stream ever. It'll probably finish my career as a YouTuber, and there'll probably be a queue of people waiting to beat me up, but I don't care. This has been just... Oh, God. Oh, Norma Butler and Ernest playing top trumps in the box. Oh, God above. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh. Seriously, I can't cope with any more of this. Oh, dear. Right, let's get through these comments and then let's just pretend that this never happened. How tall is the Gibbinator? Asks Joe. 6'3" in flats, replies Neil. Now I've got an image of him in high heels. God. I mean, he's a fine looking chap, but he'd make a fucking ugly woman. I know. I use candle glasses as tumblers. Sorry, it's the next comment. I use candle glasses as tumblers. How does that work? I mean, you put your glass inside them, on top of them, like that. It's going to put the handle out and heat your wine up. Or do you turn them upside down? Oh, or do you mean tumblers like for whiskey, that sort of? Oh yeah, sorry. I was thinking of coasters. No, tumblers are like for whiskey. Yeah, right. I'm with you now, Simone. Sorry, I was being dim. Yes, they would make jolly good tumblers. Although I'm not sure that I drink anything that would come in a tumbler. Oh, God, and now the unknown banker's pinging us. That's all I need. Sorry, this was the comment that got me. Project Nigel, aka Captain Mustard, channel member. And remember, channel memberships are now available for a very reasonable 99p. Hang on, hold on. Captain Mustard said, I saw your foot. Let's not do that again. Oh, come on, Mustard. Don't be like that. We held hands on Monday. Surely this is just the next stage in our relationship. Suck my toes, you hairy bitch. Oh, God. Oh, God, no. Oh, please let this end. Right, now Joe is contemplating the Beige Bombers wrestling costume. Bad Book says the only person who actually wanted to see your feet has left the chat, and the rest of us have PTSD. Oh, Simone asks, planning a pottering, Boaty? It won't happen. It won't happen. Trust me. Title, the most fecked live stream. PTSD, says Ben. Post Tootsie sexy distress. This live has got to be the best one yet, says Joe. I'm in tears of laughter. Oh, God, I need intervention. Pull the sock down, says Joe. Says Boaty, honestly, you're a bloody joy to watch. You make me laugh every night. Oh, God. Oh, dear, dear, dear. You knackered old goat, says Mustard. It's Joe again. I can just see the beige bomber busting the door down and quietly saying, "You do not talk about diesels." Can you imagine that press conference? Somebody giving a learned lecture on the L series diesel engine, and the beige bomber does the full Tyson Fury, bursts in wearing his beige bomber costume, turns the table over, slaps everybody left, right, and center. God. Oh, God. Oh. I've reached the end of the comments. Oh, thank Christ, I've reached the end of the comments. Oh, dear. Oh. Those of you who have survived this live stream, I include myself, let's just agree that what happened on this live stream stays on this live stream, and let us never refer to it ever again. Oh, God, we've gone from Ronnie Pickering to, the beige bomber. I can't get that out of my head now, the beige bomber. Ah, God. God. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, dear God. Darlings, beige bomber. Fucking hell. Thank you for finishing this on a jolly good note, Skick. Skick says, "Blessed are those that are persecuted through righteous sake." And I can't think of a better way to end this live stream than that. It's been an experience. An experience that oh God, wine turds. Thank you, Simone. Let me check my wine. I can only hope the beige bomber would approve of this. Oh, semi-turds, Simone. Semi-turds. I think we've I've still got a trouser leg rolled up, for Christ's sake. I'm a 52-year-old man. I could be a grandparent. Oh, God. Right, the only way to make sense of tonight is to get very drunk, eat curry, and go to sleep. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. Ladies and gentlepersons. Oh, fuck me, Cheeseburger's here. Cheeseburger's here. Good. Hello. Hello, General. Hope everyone's having a good week. See you soon. That's very nice. Right. Darlings, thank you so much for your company tonight. I can only apologize for what you've had to endure. And I'm sure that tomorrow we'll be back to the normal. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kicks were fast as lightning. Those kicks were fast as lightning. Oh, God. Who will challenge the beige bomber? The beige bomber would be dressed like Captain Chaos. This live stream is a foot above the rest. Oh, God. Oh, this isn't going to die, is it? This isn't going to die. Oh, poor Joseph. He's such a nice man. And people are going to be talking about the beige bomber. The beige bomber. I can only imagine the state Trace will be in when she watches this back. I think there might be a few clips, Ben, don't you? God. Oh, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube land, my friends. Let's cling to the wreckage. Thank you for your company for this absolute car crash of a thing. JM on canvas. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, what a life this turned out to be. Yes, indeed, Joe. And we must all go whilst we've still got some semblance of sanity. Thank you so much for joining me for whatever the fucking hell this was. I don't care. It's going to get demonetized anyway, isn't it? For God's sake, I got my foot out. And not that foot either. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with me on this live stream. I greatly appreciate your company. And I wish you all a safe and peaceful night. Please take great care of yourselves. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. And myself and the beige bomber wish you a very good night. And I'll see you next time. Same time tomorrow, darlings. Tune in for more hot naked foot action. Oh, God. I'm going. Goodbye. Goodbye.